got the honor to be here in Nidat's presence, and that you all got to share that honor with me. As you can tell, she's extremely powerful representative of Palestinian women who are on the front lines of facing, their loved ones going to prison, not just in Palestine, the way that we see it on social media, but even here in the U.S. So it's very difficult to follow Nidat, of course, but I think it's really important that you all take to heart every single word that she said here tonight and make sure that it impacts your actions moving forward. This is not just limited to tonight, because as we gather here on Lenape land in New York City, there's another level of complicity that we hold, aside from the fact that the U.S. is inherently complicit in Palestinian oppression, including Palestinians in American prisons. A New York connection that we need to keep in mind is that in the 1990s, New York Democrats Chuck Schumer, Eliot Spitzer, Anthony Weiner, along with Zionist orgs like the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, lobbied the Clinton administration to shut down the Holy Land Foundation. And this wasn't just another Republican attack on the HLF under Bush. It was bipartisan. It was endorsed. It was supported by the Democrats as well. It was an effort to criminalize Palestinians for charitable giving in the U.S. Meanwhile, Zionist settler NGOs are tax exempt, and they can fundraise for illegal settlements freely in the U.S. And the U.S. can send millions of dollars in military funding to the genocidal Zionist occupation army that massacres Palestinians constantly. But feeding orphans led to Shukri and Bassam getting 65 years in prison. 65 years. As the injustice system claims they were supporting Palestinian terrorism. Because effectively 80% of Palestinian society are declared terrorists by the U.S. because we dare to resist Israeli settler colonization. But I'll keep this short. November 24th is the 15th anniversary of the wrongful conviction of the Holy Land Foundation 5. A conviction that would probably not have even taken place today, but was fanned by the climate of anti-Palestinian, racist, Islamophobic rhetoric and political climate post 9/11. According to the Holy Land 5 defense team, as you saw in this documentary, the use of anonymous witnesses had no precedent in the history of the U.S. judicial system, as you saw. And this is why recourse will not be found in the legal system. It must be through people power. Even a pardon or exoneration or any of these methods would take sustained grassroots organizing to push legal organizations to demand justice and to push for the public to demand the release of the remaining members of the Holy Land 5 who are still in prison immediately. We know this happened because of their work to support Palestinian liberation and because they are part of Muslim communities. And that's why it's important to understand that fighting for Palestine is fighting for prisoners. We understand that this injustice occurred by the U.S. imperialist apparatus, and it will not be undone voluntarily, but it must be demanded and taken by force. This past year, we've worked with the Coalition for Civil Freedoms and Samidoun and many other organizations to relaunch the campaign to free the Holy Land Foundation 5. This is a hashtag that we use on social media across different platforms. So make sure that you're plugged into that to contribute to the campaign. Because now that you know the facts, it's important to ask yourself what's next. It's important to discuss why we need to organize to fight for their freedom. It's important to talk about collective struggle, organization, coalition building, and for all of you to join the campaign. Your organizations can sign on. You can download, if you're just an individual, you can download materials on our website. Learn about the case and join us in mobilizing next month on the 15-year anniversary. We have papers up front over there where people can scan the QR code for the campaign page. They can take photos with different signs expressing their solidarity. And again, I'll sum up my entire message with a single quote by Nidat's father that explains it more eloquently than I ever could. So long as there is injustice, it becomes the responsibility of each and every one of us to stand up, speak up, and do something about it. Shukri Abu Bakr. It's that simple, and I hope that the discussion tonight will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move towards the discussion portion of the evening. So we're not going to actually make a circle, but kind of pull your chairs and just kind of turn to face everyone. So we're going to kind of make it less of a